Hello, team. Welcome to another weekly sales meeting. I hope everybody's having a great start to the week. We're looking forward to a big week here. So I'm going to go ahead and get started and talk about expectations. Had a conversation earlier this week talking about expectations that we're setting as a company. Now, from December to January, our lock volume grew by 74%. That's a huge month-over-month gain. So I had a bunch of our loan officers ask me like, hey, Anthony, we're growing fast. Like, do we have to reset expectations on how we're onboarding, how we're doing operations? Like, we're growing so fast, are we going to be able to keep up? And here's what it comes down to is we don't set lower expectations, okay? This is a fundamental principle, is the minute you bend, you break, okay? The minute you sit there and start saying we're going to lower the standard, that's not how this thing works, okay? The standard is the standard. If we're not meeting the standard, then we got to level up. Then we got to go out and make sure we're adding people to the team that can help us deliver on that standard and meet those expectations. But on no circumstances whatsoever are we going to sit here and lower the expectation. We got to be great at it all. We got to be great at our team member experience, our client experience. We got to make sure that every single loan is getting that great NPS score every single time. So, as far as expectations go, we're exactly where we want to be. What do we hear from our competitors? Like, on a daily basis, I'm getting messages saying, hey, did you hear what this person's saying over here about UMortgage, what this person's saying over there about UMortgage? Like, that's great. I don't need to pay attention. I don't need to respond to that. But if they're talking about us, it means we're winning. And that's where you want to be. That's exactly where you want to be. You want to be where the expectations are high. You want to be where the standard is high. And you want to be in the place that is winning. And everybody's trying to give you their best. They're going to give you their best game. They're going to give you the best competition. If you're competing against them, you better know that person's going to give you the sharpest rate. We've heard before. We've got companies that say that they'll, match every single quote. Great, we can play that game too, but we're going to beat you no matter what. Like, that's where our head's at. That's how we're doing things. So, when it comes to quality of client experience, we're not going to lower the standard. It's a plus 95 every time on that NPS score. That's all there is to it. And believe me, we get the feedback. Hey, this didn't go as it could have been. Here's an area where we can get better. And we're focused on filling those gaps. We're focused on making those improvements. And we're focused on doing it at a very fast velocity. So no changing expectations, guys. Once you put in your head that we should change the standard, it's over. We are 100% confident. We grew by 74% month over month. We're going to do it again. We're going to continue to deliver great service. We're going to continue to be the most competitively priced, and we're going to continue to add great team members to our team. So I want to talk about dominating, okay? So last week we were at Hall of Fame, great event. Had a whole bunch of our team members down there. And the one thing that truly stood out to me when I was talking to different loan originators from different companies was people saying, well, we don't touch the non-QM things. We don't touch the one-time close. We don't touch this. Like, I'm sitting there going through what they do and what they don't do. And I'm like, well, that's like the whole market right now. Like, you're missing out 1/3 of the market with all the products that you're not doing. You're not doing this, you're not doing that. Like, why aren't you doing these things? Like, well, we cut back on operations. We just like to give them the easy stuff. Well, guess what? You do that, you put yourself in a position where you're saying no to your real estate agents and your referral partners too many times. It's only a matter of time before there's 2 yeses from somebody else, and all of a sudden what used to be your referral partner is somebody else's referral partner. So you can't say yes, you can't say no to any type of referral. You got to be able to deliver it all. If it's a loan that can close, if it's a product that is available, just because you don't have sufficient operations or your operations people only want to work on clean stuff is not a sufficient excuse, okay? So in my world, it's all about, we want every loan. We want every loan from every agent. We don't want to say no. We want to be in a position where we're competing for every single transaction. And we don't want to be the loan officer, hey, listen, I gave your business card out to, with 2 other loan officers. Like, no. We're partners, okay? We're the one-stop shop. We're your partner. We're here to do every single loan. Not only are we going to do every single loan, but we're going to make sure the client gets the best rate, gets the lowest cost, gets the best terms, and gets the best client experience. So the mindset is we want them all. We want every single loan. We're not looking to be, your number 2. We're not looking to split the business with the local guy who does those niche products. We want all the loans. So where there's product gaps, we're going to fill them. You just saw today, UWM came out with one-time close. Believe me when I tell you, on a weekly basis, we're talking to our different lender partners. Wherever the product's needs are, we're going to find those products. We're going to bring them to market. Right now, Isaac's working on bringing some additional products to market here that'll be exclusive to UMortgage. And we're going to continue to innovate. We're going to continue to focus on identifying where the opportunities to grow in our local markets are and bring that product to you guys so you're able to compete at the highest level. But end all be all, focus is we want all the loans. We're not saying no to anything. Last thing here, I want to talk about competing with exact rate, making it a customizable loan. So, at the end of the day, you're going to see a big time right here in this quarter. People are going to get more competitive. Okay, I can tell you right now, there are a lot of people that are hanging on with the skin of their teeth right now. It's just like a month away, another bad month away from not being around. Okay, so making it competitive where you can and being that much better from a differentiation standpoint is critical. So the customized loan is all about exact rate, making sure you take the fractional rates. Hey, you're competing at 6.5, you can go 6.49. You could be 6.35 versus being at 6 3/8. Like, you can take that extra layer to create a little bit more edge. And it might sound like, hey, it's not that big of a deal. It's a differentiator, because here's what happens. It starts a conversation. Your customer's like, well, why can't this LO offer that rate? Well, that's because we have innovation. We're focused on making sure we're delivering the best thing for you. It's not about just being like everybody else. We're going to show you the options. We're going to show you, we can do a flex term. We can do a fractional rate. We can customize your loan as much as as much as we can based upon your circumstances. Now, this is a situation where in our pricing engine, you have to be able to go in there and actually select the exact rate option in the additional option. So we're going to post a video a little bit later to show you how to make sure you're using exact rate within Arrive. But the big thing here is be innovative. Like, the idea of making an assumption of like, hey, I sent out one quote or I sent out two quotes. I did a 30-year fix with 0 points and one with 1 point. Like, make it interesting. At the end of the day, guys, like, the customers that are shopping around want to have something pop out to them. If they're looking at two quotes and that the other LOs, doing what they need to do to try to compete with us, and they're offering the same rate as you, you're both at 6 3/8, or you're both at 6 1/4 or 5 7/8. Like, it's you're looking for pennies. But when you're sitting there and they're at 6 1/4 and you're at 6.21 or 6.19, it stands out. It matters. These are the things that create conversations. These are the things that differentiate when the customers are looking at those things. So you're like, we've seen the playbook before. Rocket's whole playbook is like, hey, they charge 2 points on every single loan just to get a little bit of a lower rate. The focus here is like that 0.1, that 0.2 lower in interest rate, it will stand out when two LEs are next to each other. So in this market, it's tightening even more than it was over the last 6 months. Focus on differentiation. Take it to another level, customize the loan, show your customer that you've got something that nobody else does. I'm going to hand it off to Taylor, and I'll be back shortly.
Hey, I'm Taylor Alvarado, loan officer here in Texas. We recently onboarded with NXT Mortgage under the leadership of Tyler Hodgson. I am super excited about what UMortgage is doing, mostly because what Tyler has built with NXT Mortgage and the culture and kind of family vibe that we have, the way we care for our clients and just interact as a whole, I see very much mirrored in UMortgage. I had a chance to meet with Anthony offline a couple weeks ago at our NXT Summit. And just like listening to his heart behind why he does what he does and his dedication to all of the originators and operations team, just every team member as a whole, very much reflects what we're doing with NXT Mortgage. So I think that as far as growth and the future with UMortgage, and what makes me so excited about it is that we get to do what we're already doing on an even bigger level with an even bigger playing field, and just some of the best people in the business that I'm just so honored to be able to work alongside. So it's really cool. The other great thing, as far as like growth for myself as an originator, we went from self-processing, which is very time consuming. And the way UMortgage is set up is with our processing pods, what that's going to allow me to do professionally is to be able to really work with a strong team and just be out there selling, going to coffee appointments, talking to referral partners, and just really building the sales side of the business rather than being in the minutia, which is going to be a big difference for us and myself, and just is going to allow me really to do more loans, which is the goal, right? Help more families, close more deals, things like that. So I'm very excited about that. And in the next 90 days, just really ironing out how that looks as far as like the flow of my business. I've also started working with Sam in the internal coaching program. So that starts this week. So over the next 90 days, I think it's just going to be a lot of sales and just really putting myself out there, which I'm very excited to be able to do and have the opportunity to have so much support to be able to serve more people in that capacity. So really looking forward to it. If you are interested in UMortgage or have any questions, I would love just send me a direct message, email me or text me. I'm always happy to answer those questions for you. And thank you all on the sales team for having me on this call today. I really appreciate it. And have a great day.
Hey guys, Ian Twaddle here with the Lehigh Valley Allentown UMortgage Group. Just wanted to come out and talk to you guys a little bit today about about working with a bigger team. So I work with a team of close to 50 agents, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about how I established the relationship and then how I foster the relationship. So really nothing fancy about how I established it. Really, it's just hard work. The way I look at every transaction, and it doesn't matter if it's a transaction or just a phone call, is I want everyone to have a good experience. And I don't care if it's 9 p.m. on a Saturday or 3 p.m. on a Monday. I'm going to make sure that I do the same exact job every single time, no matter what the circumstance. So when I first started working with one of his agents, it's just me and her. She was the only one on the team that I worked with. As I would do a really good job, she would start to mention to her other teammates that I do a really good job. And a lot of times I would save deals for them. So if another lender dropped the ball, what happens is once you have a big team like that, they are all talking. I can assure you they all talk about loan officers there. So if you're doing a really good job for one of their agents, eventually that all the other agents are going to hear about that. And if you could save a deal for them, that's usually the way I got in with them, is I would save a deal here, save a deal there. And I would make sure the client experience. So client, first of all, talk about client. So client for me is everyone in the transaction. I don't care if that's a transaction coordinator, the title company, the listing agent. I'm going to make sure everybody has a really good experience. So mainly just making sure everyone had a good experience, always being available, doesn't matter what time it is, always making sure that I take care of them. That was the biggest way to establish it, because then I wound up meeting with the team lead. And in his mind, he would much rather have, kind of have everything centralized, where it's not, deal going here, deal going there, deal dies here, deal dies there. If I can do a really good job, he's going to prefer that, some of his agents work with me. So he's going to introduce me to more and more of them. So that's how I got started. How I've, kept that relationship going is I do a Zoom every Tuesday. So every Tuesday, a lot of the agents will jump on. We'll just talk about, what maybe I could do better, where the rates are, just things in the market. And, maybe once a month I do a PowerPoint for the big team. Just, go over anything new that might be happening with the market, where everybody always wants to know where interest rates are going, things like that. I do a new class whenever they get new agents, I'll do like a mortgage 101 for any new agents that just joined the team. So that, can help with, he doesn't have to kind of train them on the mortgage side. I can do that mortgage side for them. And, we have to keep it super basic because these are brand new agents. That's about it. Maybe I do a pipeline review with them once a month so that we can go over everything that we have in the pipeline, whether it's pre-approved and looking, it's under contract, whatever it is, just go over that so that they know exactly where I am with all their buyers. That's about it. If I'm an LO, I'm reading that partnership playbook that's in the knowledge library just to make sure that, you can learn as much as possible from that knowledge library. So anything you guys have, you can always reach out to me. Anything, you can always find me on the workplace or reach me on my cell. Thanks, guys.
Hi, Natalie Frye. I'm an operations team leader here at UMortgage. I'm here to talk to you today about our operations department, my team specifically, how I run it, and how the feedback helps us get better every day. My pod supports several of the branches for UMortgage. The things that we do to keep the pipeline moving on my pod is that we do weekly pod calls with each one of our branches where we can talk about the loans and get feedback from our loan officers on how things are going, what struggles we may be having, how we can move forward. In addition to that, I do weekly pipeline reviews with my processors where we go through each individual loan, talk about what's still remaining to be received, and how we can help push that file forward and how we can help get it to the finish line. While we do consider closing dates in everything that we do not push the pipeline based on a closing date. We want every loan to get clear to close as soon as possible. So if a loan comes in and the closing date may not be for 3 weeks, we are still trying to get that 7-day clear to close. Makes the real estate agents happier, makes the borrowers happier, makes everybody happier knowing that the file is already cleared and we're just waiting on the closing date. So while we do keep the closing date in mind, we do not push our pipeline based on that. Every file is urgent. Every file needs to close as soon as possible. And by delivering that service, we can keep our real estate agents coming back to us again and again. As far as the standards that I hold the loan officers and the processors to, there are definitely SLAs that we keep in mind in regards to the entire process. From submission all the way to closing, we do have defined SLAs in place for all departments and all individuals. There is transparency from the top to the bottom. Everybody knows where a file is at, what is still missing, when we are anticipating to close, and we always keep that file moving with the urgency of it's closing as soon as possible. Doesn't matter if the closing date is in 3 weeks or tomorrow, like we are going to keep it moving. In order to get better every day, that candid feedback from our loan officers is super important. We do send out a NPS survey at the end of every file where the loan officers can rate the processors, the loan coordinators, and the closers on how the process went. And I'm looking at that feedback on a weekly basis just to see where we can improve, what comments were made. A lot of times I'm reaching out to those loan officers and say, hey, you rated it an 8. What could we do to get a 10? So it is very important that we are all working together to get better every day to make the process run smoother and faster and better for every file. As far as our operations team, we are still growing, and we do encourage everyone that has the ability or thinks that they could fit into our model to send your resumes to careers@umortgage.com. We would love to speak with you further, and we would love to see if you could be a good fit for us here. Thanks.
What is going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Kristopher Natschke here again with a Riches Are in the Niches minute for you guys. So I know you hear me say that all the time, and I'm going to say it every single time I'm on here, is we all need to find ways to differentiate ourselves. It doesn't matter the type of lending you're doing. Pick something that you're passionate about. You guys know that I'm really passionate about investment real estate. So that's why I write loans for investment real estate. But there's first-time home buyers, non-QM. You guys know the list. There's dozens of them, and we have access to all of them. You hear a lot of our other top loan officers talking about the niches that they work in with VA loans and USDA loans. So really focus on that this year. But a call to action for everybody is, I know we're out here, we're really trying to set ourselves up for the summer, but it is busy right now. We need to focus on the journey, not the destination. And a lot of us are getting really worked up and concerned about the upcoming purchase season, especially where I'm at here in the Midwest. And you just have to remember that living in the moment, there's so many deals and so much happening right now that you can't lose focus of what's on your table because you're looking at that destination here with the peak buying season. Most loan officers, title agents, realtors that you talk to today are saying that they are really busy and almost kind of getting to that overwhelmed stage like we were in 2020 and 2019. So I want to remind everybody that you need to focus on the journey, focus on right now, focus on today, do things today that are going to make yourself better. And one of those things that I want to pass along to you guys is who you're partnering with. Every time I talk to somebody, they're like, I want to partner with more realtors. I need more realtors. How do I talk to more realtors? I think we all forget that there are so many moving parts to our business and so many key players involved that it's not just a relationship between you as a loan officer and a realtor. You have title agents, insurance agents, and don't forget the other people, your CPAs, your tax planners, people who manage wealth. We had the opportunity here with Natschke Loans in my branch to onboard a new wealth advisor who has over $1 billion in assets under management to help facilitate lending for his clients. I wasn't going to get that business from a realtor. So I go outside my COI and use the people inside of it to earn more business by having that niche, bringing it to them and bringing value to them. In turn, what that wealth advisor and his group is going to get from us is reciprocated clients as they begin to grow their real estate portfolios and need different tax planning, how to depreciate the properties, eventually how to do a cost segregation, how to manage that new excess of income they have with that wealth, right? So we're adding value to them. It's going to also increase their business and their market share because now we have professionals that are like-minded, working very fluidly together. So my call to action is go find other partners. You don't have to focus on the realtors. There's so many other areas in our business that you can earn your business from. So that's my challenge to everybody today. Go find a partner who is not a realtor, and let's see how much business we can grow from them. I hope everybody has a phenomenal Wednesday, and thanks again for letting me talk.
All right. Happy Wednesday, everybody. This is Eric Rosberg coming to you live from Jupiter, Florida. Super excited to be here today. Super excited to share some of these things that I'm going to talk about. First and foremost, I want to talk about, I have recently joined Mark Whitaker's team here in Jupiter, Florida. And there's something unique, number one, about the company culture, the UMortgage culture, culture of connectivity. But it is awesome being able to get awesome banners like this. We are working events together. We're doing first time home buyer. We just collaborate, and it's awesome to be able to share that, our strengths with each other, and then areas of opportunity. I can if I need help with something, I have that resource right there. So it's been awesome. We're super excited to be out in the community. And just seeing each other, thrive, especially in this market. It's awesome. Next thing, so powerful and so helpful to me personally that is part of the UMortgage, again, culture is the coaching program. In coaching, we talk about, destination, where you want to go, direction, and accountability. Those are the two components of the coaching program that I absolutely love. It's helped me, master my day. And we actually have a master your day template that we follow. And we talk about social media, videos, making contact with people, breaking bread, adding value to your partners, to your clients, and making sure you're following up with people. Staying top of mind. I've been asked to speak a little bit about staying top of mind, and in business in general, I truly believe that just every week asking your realtor, your divorce attorneys, your financial advisors, asking for business isn't staying top of mind. That's just my take. So I'm a firm believer in when you take the business out of the relationship, those relationships are going to bring you business. So how do you do that? One thing that I've done every morning I get on social media, I see whose birthday it is. They're getting a video, they're getting a voice message. It's going to be something personalized. It's not going to be about mortgages or buying a house. It's letting them know I am grateful that we are friends, that we are partners, that I know them, that we've crossed paths. And it's really, I can't express how much that little action has impacted my relationships. So I'm going to call you out. Every loan originator watching this, try it for a week, try it for 21 days. I promise you'll get results. Thanks. Get out there, everybody, and dominate.
Thank you, Eric. We got three more call to actions here before we wrap up. So number one, want to make sure everybody saw we launched the new UMortgage Marketing Hub. The marketing team has been working on this for the last over a month, and we're retiring the old UMortgage marketing website and now really building an intuitive hub for everybody to be able to access all the training materials, access the presentations, your social media calendar, like you name it. This is going to be where everything's located. Now, the key thing here is this is like, it's a tool, it's a resource. taking advantage of it is key. You see the people that have taken advantage of it are doing a presentation a week, are hosting a virtual event a week, are posting every single day using these assets. It's translating into their volume. We see the month over month. We see the quarter over quarter gains. It adds value. Now, you heard from Eric just a little bit ago talking about staying top of mind. Like our whole goal here is make it easy. Now, you can go above and beyond. You can create video content. You can, go a little bit outside the box with any of the things that you're doing. But here's the basics. And last week we were at the Hall of Fame event, and Gary Vee was talking about, hey, listen, if you're not putting out 12 pieces of content on the 5 different platforms on a daily basis, you're not doing enough. So, here's one touch point. Now it's like, how do you take it to the next level? How do you make sure you're doing stories? How do you make sure you're doing TikToks? It's all part of staying top of mind, but it's also part of building your brand. Remember, the Loan Originator, you are the brand. UMortgage is the platform that you plug into, but at the end of the day, you're the brand. So I want to give a big shout out to our entire marketing team over the last year, building this content at high velocity, constantly crowdsourcing in the marketing community to get new ideas, new ways to bring presentations to life and social content to life. So check it out. We'll drop the link in the comments below. But again, this is an amazing resource, easy to use. Make sure you're taking advantage of it. Next thing is starting this Friday, we're going to host a weekly Facebook and LinkedIn Live. This week, Todd Bitter and Andrew Cady are going to be doing this. It's a $100 million producers panel, just talking about the things that matter, talking about what we're doing to systematize our business, what we're doing to get over the hump in this market, but in all markets. How did they go from being a $30 million originator to a $50 million originator to become eventually a $100 million originator? What was that process? So these are 2 of the best in the game. 2 different markets. They did it 2 completely different ways. Andrew was in Jacksonville, lower loan amount, high govy market. Todd was in Arizona, obviously higher loan amount, mostly conventional market. So they did it in different ways, but they were both able to dominate and get over $100 million in production. So this is a great offering every Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern time, live on Facebook and on LinkedIn. Last thing before we wrap up, reminder, our Relationships, Not Transactions Summit is on February 28th and on March 1st. It's a 2-day event. It's going to be bringing in all of our loan originators, processors. We're bringing in a lot of our team members, and we're really focused on the relationship piece. We don't want this just to be another conference where we're sitting there listening to people. It's going to be about engagement. It's going to be about leveraging the assets that we've built from a marketing perspective. How are people building these things into their business? We're also going to talk about, the collaboration piece. Like how are we working together? Even though we're in different markets, how are we engaging? How are we getting to understand like the different ways that people are growing their business? Obviously, we do our daily sales huddles and the weekly sales meeting, but this is about the relationship piece. This is about building those relationships that are not just part of the meeting structures we're doing on a weekly basis. So, we did one of these last year, huge value. All the people that attended got a lot of value out of it. And it's another opportunity for you to get closer to the organization and meet all of our team members. So major call to action. We're going to be posting about this tomorrow. You can register right away. We got limited number of tickets available. So please sign up as quickly as you can. And we look forward to seeing everybody there. Guys, last week, record week. Okay. Record week by a huge margin. Month over month, 70% lock growth. Client experience continues to be the primary focus, delivering a great client experience every single time. We're taking it to another level here in 2023. We are not slowing down. We're not lowering expectations. It's all about leveling up. So whatever the challenge is today, just understand, like, we got to challenge ourselves even more. And we're not going to sit there and say we're tired. We're not going to sit there and say, hey, I'm already doing better than I thought I was going to be doing in January compared to last year. Like, no, that's not the focus. The focus is outperforming not only ourselves from last year, but everybody in our market. We're focused on dominating. So dominate the rest of your week. Have a great week and talk to you guys soon.